Hello, 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 and welcome or welcome back. I'm Shakia, and in this episode, we're going to talk about TLC's newest show, MILF Manor. Okay, let's get into it. MILF Manor premiered on TLC on Sunday, January 15th. I did not plan on watching this show. When I saw the preview for it, I thought, okay, it's one of those dating shows, and I don't typically watch those types of shows. I used to back in the day, like The Bachelor and all of that, but I haven't watched that kind of show in a while. So I wasn't really planning on it. And to be clear, I don't have an issue with a MILF, right? You want to go and get you a younger guy? Okay, do you, boo? As long as everybody is of age, everybody consents, do you. So it was no issue. It's just not my type of show. And yet somehow I ended up watching it because it came on after Happily Ever After, or at least that's when I saw it, right? It came on after 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, I believe. And so then I said, well, I'll give it a few minutes. I ended up watching the show. And the beginning, it felt like your normal reality dating show. There's this beautiful home. You have all the women there. They are getting to know one another. And then everybody's wondering, like, well, where are the guys? Where are these younger men? Now, let me back up. You have 8 women. They range in age from their mid 40s to almost 60. I think the oldest person is she's 59. And so they are all interested in having this experience of dating someone younger. And some of them have experience dating younger men.
Life has given me some curveballs. I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men.
I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
But nonetheless, they're here because they say they want to find love. They want to see what's out there with a younger man. Okay, still, that's, you know what, fine. So then they're like, okay, where are the men? And this is where it oh, Lord. Oh, we're going to get there. Okay, so then the women, they're like, where are the men? So then they get the notification that it's time for the men to be revealed. You see the silhouette of the men. They reveal the men. When we get back from commercial break, we see that these women's faces are like, what? Their faces are like my face, WTF. What am I watching? So now as the viewer, we have to figure out what is going on. If you thought TLC couldn't get any more cringe, as the Gen Z folks say, if you thought they couldn't get any more cringe, they have, darlings. Indeed, they have, my friends. Just when you think these reality shows can't go any further, TLC said, wait a minute. Whatever is out there right now, I'm going to do you one better. And so they did. So, okay, the men are revealed. It's their sons. I'm saying, what's happening here? Now, the words I want to say, I don't think I can say them on YouTube right now, so we'll wait. But I'm like, what's going on here? Early reality show days, they would have people coming on one show, but really it would turn into something completely different, right? And they'd have them do challenges and things like that. And so I'm thinking, well, what's really going on? So it's still a dating show, and they do have challenges. So now these women were getting to know one another, and now they are going to get to know the sons of the women to date them. This is just too much for me. This is too much for me. And not only that, the mom and son pairs are sharing rooms. So now if the son wants to bring somebody back to the room, he has to say, hey, mom, can you leave for a few minutes? Or if the mom is bringing somebody back, then she got to put a sock on the door. What is going on? Okay, so TLC is really just... TLC has changed so much. TLC, I remember way back when I was younger, and I used to watch TLC. And they used to have the shows, I can't remember what it's called, but the delivery shows, the delivery shows. And at one point I thought, well, maybe I'd be a doctor. And I would watch the show and I would watch these babies be born. I didn't become a medical doctor. I realized, like, this perhaps is not for me. But I would watch the show where the babies were born, and they would just have these educational shows, like it was educational content. They went from that to MILF Manor and 90 Day Fiance, which, I mean, 90 Day Fiance isn't that bad, is it? It's not that bad. But they have the shows like Smothered, and I think it's called I'm in Love with a Mama's Boy. Then they have the show about the sisters who are extremely close with each other. It's always, they're showing these different what family dynamics, let's put it that way. But now MILF Manor, where you have the moms and their sons and they're all in the same dating pool, it's just very cringe. I don't know if I can stick around for this one. I don't know. Are you interested in watching it? If you are going to watch MILF Manor, then maybe I'll watch it and we could talk about it together. But if you're not interested in watching it, then I don't know if I'm going to be wasting my time on it. I don't know. It just seemed weird. And then they had a challenge. So the mom and son pairs share a room. There are two suites, however, and they have to compete to see who's going to get the suite. Which mom and son pair will get the suite, because the suites obviously have more room and it has different amenities, and so they want to get the suite. And here's what the challenge was. The challenge was that the young men, who range in age from 20 to 30, which is just too young. It's too young, and they look so young. It's just, no. It's a little off-putting. It felt very cringe, but here's where it really got cringe, okay? So the sons have to remove their shirts. The moms are blindfolded, and then they have to feel on the young men to see if they know who their son is, to see if they can pick out their son. And then if you can pick out your son in the shortest amount of time, then you get one of the suites. I don't think. Why is this on? What is happening, America? Why is this on television? And the sons are like, oh, I don't want to see my mom feel up on feel up on another guy. But then also it's like, well, what if they are just touching all over and it's your son? And the son has to be like, hey, mom, stop. You know what I mean? And then we see in the teaser for upcoming episodes, they're going to have more challenges. And one of the challenges is to give them a massage. And I believe the mom is blindfolded and the sons are blindfolded. And so you see one of the sons saying, oh my God, I think I'm touching my mom. I think I'm massaging my mom. Because it's a maybe couples massage, but I don't want to do a. Why? 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 So, okay, let me give you a little tea on who these women are, and I'll just run through them. This isn't an in-depth recap of the show. It's more of a reaction, because as I was watching it, I was thinking WTF, and I'm sure if I was thinking it, you might have been thinking it too. Or did you like it? Did you like it? What'd you like about it? So let's do a quick rundown on who these women are. Oh, also, in shows like this, they always have characters, right? You have one person who's like the B word, another person who's the villain, another person who's the girl next door, the goody two shoes, the this, the that. They don't say that, but in shows like this, if you've been watching reality for as long as I've been watching reality TV, we know that they tend to have these different characters, these different archetypes. And so let's start off with the one who's probably going to be the villain in some way, Kelly. Kelly is your, and I try not to be mean, right? I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do my best to be nice about Kelly. Kelly seems like in certain circumstances, she could be fun, but also like really annoying. Like she seems like the type, pick me, look at me, look at me. I need attention. I need attention. Like she thrives off of attention. Kelly is 50, Kelly with an E. She's 50. She lives in Orange County and she's a mom of 6. And she was talking about how people are shocked when she tells them that or they ask whether or not all of her children have the same father. And she's like, no, why would I have 6 children by one man? Oh, okay, Kelly. So Kelly is ready to party. Kelly is ready to have fun. On night 1, Kelly was texting one of the guys talking about come up to the room, and then her son was like, it's day 1. You've only known this man for 6 hours. But Kelly was ready to do some things with somebody's son. Kelly's excited for this journey, but you could tell the reaction that she received when the other women saw her. She's the typical blonde, huge boobs kind of archetype, like, and so she'll probably be the villain in the show, probably. There are some moms who are already like, Kelly needs to stay away from my son. I think one of them said she's just so fast. There are so many things we could talk about, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna keep it short. So let's just do quick introductions for the women. So we have Kelly, she's 50. We have Shannon, who is also 50, which also, let's go back to Kelly. I thought Kelly was older. She looks a little older and it said 50. So Kelly is 50. We have Shannon, who is 50. And Shannon is an event planner in Atlanta. She was married for 18 years, but that did not work out. And she recently dated a 27-year-old, and she is ready to give this another try with a younger man. Shannon seems very like matronly and like not in a bad way. It's just interesting. It's interesting. But we have Shannon. Okay. See, I'm doing my best to just go through the quick introductions and not give a spiel on all of the women. So maybe I will come back and do that if you want to see it. But anyway, okay. So we have Stephanie, who is 46. Stephanie lives in LA. She is originally from Peru. And she's a mom of 3. She's a high-end realtor and paralegal. And she loves the Lord. That was part of her introduction on the show. She was talking about how much she just loves the Lord. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting because, well, you're going to have to do a lot of praying to get through this experience. It just seems so weird. Not that she loves the Lord. The experience just seems weird to me. Okay, you wanted your shock value. Ooh, this is it. That was it. That reveal, that was it. We also have So Young. She is 50. She lives near New Orleans and she used to be a hairstylist and now she's a surgical nurse, which I thought was really cool. And Miss So Young, honey, she said she loves younger men. She's like, why would I date older? I don't want to date older. I want to date young. Next up, we have April Jane, because there are 2 Aprils. So we have April Jane, who's 59, from LA, mom of 3, former heavy metal video vixen. Okay, April Jane. And now she's a personal trainer. She was engaged, and unfortunately, her fiance passed away. So April is getting back out there and she is looking for love. And I actually like April. She seems more reserved, but she's, well, more reserved than Kelly, but most of them are more reserved than Kelly. But she gives off good vibes. So we'll see how that plays out. Next up, we have Paula. And Paula is 48. She is originally from Mexico, but she lives in Miami. She owns a gym with her family. She's been single for 9 years. She said when she was 23, her husband at the time passed away in a car accident. She said that she wanted to still give her kids a good life, and so she kept moving forward. She did say she found it difficult to be without a man for a very long time. She's been single for 9 years, but she was like, even in kindergarten, like I was with somebody. So that'll be interesting to see. Oh, Paula. Paula went on a date with one of the young men, one of the sons, and her son said, "Look, I don't think that's the guy, you know, just I need you to pick," essentially I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, "Pick better than what you've done before." It is interesting to see how the sons respond when somebody is interested in their mom, or like to see their mom flirting. And that has to be a little odd. And for some people it's not. For me it just is. It's a little odd. Like I don't want to see my mom flirt, you know? I don't want to see it. And I don't want to be on a dating show with her either, and we're dating, trying to find love in the same group of people. No. And on this show, that's what's happening. It's the mom and the son. Look, they're both trying to find love, which is fine. But now you're finding love with like who could, you know, they were friends with each other, and the moms were friends with each. I don't know. It's just too close to home and I don't like it. Anyway, moving right along, we have Miss Charlene. Charlene is 46. Now listen, Charlene is from Jersey, so give it up for the Jersey girls. Whoop whoop. Charlene is from Jersey, but now she lives in, I believe, LA, and she works in the hospitality industry. Unfortunately, I believe last year she said her daughter passed away. Her daughter would have been 28, and her daughter passed away, and she wears an infinity necklace around her neck. And I believe her daughter gave her that necklace. And so she said, you know, she knows that her daughter would want her to find love and to be happy. And they were close, and her daughter was one of the main people that she would talk to about her relationships. And so I definitely wish her all the best. That has to be tough to lose a child. And so I hope that she does have a great experience. It hasn't been a long time. She's probably still grieving. So Charlene, she seemed to be a little intimidated when she saw the other women. And I think she mentioned Kelly specifically. And she's like, well, that's probably what younger guys are going to go for, like Kelly's type. Kelly is more flirtatious, and Charlene seemed way more reserved and just uncomfortable, honestly, with the experience when she saw all the other women. And then even with the young men, the sons, because I keep calling them sons, even when the son showed up, and once you get past the fact that, oh my god, like that's my son, and she starts looking at the other young men, and she seemed to maybe be a little insecure because she was saying that maybe she doesn't have the same look as some of the other women, and she's a different size and different things like that. But I think Charlene is gonna be great. She seems like a cool girl, like a cool chick. So I'm rooting for Charlene. I'm rooting for a few of them if I were to watch. And then we have April. So we have our second April. April is 43. She is an insurance representative and event planner in Detroit. She's been divorced for 4 years, and she described herself as a workaholic. So perhaps this is why not Charlene. This is why April is on the show, because she was working so much in these careers that she didn't have time to find somebody. So she said, "Well, I'm going to go and get me a younger man." Again, these these young men, they look so young. Like most of them, especially the one who's 20, Kelly's son, he's 20. He's not even 21 yet. So they had to do it in Mexico. At least in Mexico, he can drink. In the States, he wouldn't even be able to have a glass of wine with whoever he matches with, you know. But they look so young. He has like this baby face, and I'm not that much older than most of them, not that much. And I'm like, oh, they look so young, even for me. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I want people to have fun and to find love and to be happy. Listen, I have a younger brother. He always tells my mom whenever she says something to him, he says, "Hey, you're stretching it." I think TLC is stretching it. TLC is stretching it. What'd you think of MILF Manor? Are you going to be watching? Watch I end up watching it again. and I'll come on here and do another video. But there you have it. We have the 8 women, the 8 moms who are looking for love, and they are going to be dating with their sons, and their sons are also looking for love with an older woman. What did you think about the women if you did watch the show? And what do you think about the sons? How do we think this is going to go? And who's gonna be what? You know, the labels, the good girl, the girl next door, the pick me. I'm throwing that one in there. Guess for who? Uh, who do we think is gonna have which label? Let's try and keep it fun, keep it light and fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you so much for being here. I want you to go out and have a courageous day, like those women did on MILF Manor, and so did their sons. But anyway, go out and have a courageous day. And when you get ready, come on back for the next one. But until then, bye for now. And in this episode, we're going to talk about TLC's newest, I was going to say newest documentary. At some point, some of them may be in a documentary after this experience, but